EA Sports, and we've got some history in this battle of AFL alumni. It's the Raiders and the Fins, and it's all up next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to one of the great cities of the world, London, England.
With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Here's the former Auburn kicker Daniel Carlson to get this one started. And we are underway here in England. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. They'll be led out by their rookie quarterback.
If you ask coaches at any level to design their ideal leader of a team, I think they're going to check every box with this guy. He's got the poise to handle responsibility. He stays calm under any kind of pressure, and he brings out the best of his teammates each and every week.
And that, incomplete. Daylight in front if he could have held on, but he didn't. So instead, it's second down.
We'll have to see what kind of looks this defense is going to throw at him as this game moves along, but they're in a zone to start. I do think we'll see plenty of man coverage as we move along, but the first throw of this one, incomplete.
Now a first carry here for the running back. He'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And the Raiders have got him.
Malcolm Kuntz in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board.
So on 4th down, here's Jake Bailey to punt for the Dolphins. It's taken to the 26. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. So now it's the Raiders' turn to go on offense for the first time. And they're led out by their mobile quarterback out of West Virginia. It's Geno Smith.
I still remember back in 2013 when he was drafted out of West Virginia. He was coming off of back-to-back 4,000-yard seasons for the Mountaineers. Hadn't seen as much game time in recent years, but at one point, a capable starter in the NFL.
Here's Smith.
And that nearly intercepted. Oh, the free safety roaming into position almost had it, but it's 2nd down.
Those are the ones you dream of as defenders. I think if he gets eyes on the ball a little bit earlier, he might come away with it. Instead, it's going to wind up as just an incomplete pass.
Now Smith. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll try to get it on the ground with Madison. Yeah, this is only going to be a gain of 2. He needed 3. It's 4th and 1. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphins shaking up on the play. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. Braxton Berrios deep for Miami. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. So Miami coming out for their second drive. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first time. I'll try to do better here. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Devon Achane. Christian Wilkins there defensively for the stop.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Right back to Achane on 2nd down. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 48-yard line. In motion, Hill. Now Achane on 1st and 10. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
2nd and 9. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And bringing it in right side here, Beckham. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. And that's good for a gain of 6. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 2. They'll look to throw. That is caught. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
2nd and 7, operating from the 34. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
That run wasn't a big breaker, but I don't think the guys on offense mind very much. They've got a nice drive going, and they might just be luring the defense in a little bit. They could probably come back with a play action, maybe go over the top. But right now, on this drive, their playbook is open.
So 3rd down now. They need the 27-yard line for a 1st. He'll look to throw. That one complete to Hill. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 22-yard line. 11 more yards there, and this methodical drive continues. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that third down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field. Defensively, make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
In motion, Hill. They go play action here on first down. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down. But Charles, in the past, a lot of people called this offense one-dimensional.
I think you did.
Well,
I think it was you.
I'll be honest, I did. I think the fan base is hoping with this young rookie that they can put some wrinkles in this offense like we just saw.
I think you're exactly right because we did have that discussion that what we've seen in the past from them, they needed to broaden, and they have done.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Dolphins will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon.
And this is a balancing act for a head coach with a rookie quarterback. You've got to walk a line with him. You don't want him getting happy feet, but you also don't want to rein in what worked for him in college. And here, he pulls it down, takes it himself, and takes it into the end zone.
Jason Sanders now for the extra point. And that makes it 7-0 Dolphins. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Yeah, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to give it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too. Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Now it's Smith. That's into the hands of his tight end Bowers. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Let's not quibble about the game there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Here's 3rd and 3. Back to throw, Smith. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Again, Smith. Short throw caught by Bowers. So the completion good for just 3. And that will bring up 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 45-yard line. 11 yards for number 11.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Now a play fake, and it's Smith. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at second down.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
Smith now to throw.
Short throw caught by Bowers.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And now we've got a 3rd and 3.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Throwing now is Geno. Open man is Jacoby Myers. He's got it. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 18. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
Running from the shotgun with Madison. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
2nd and 7.
Geno now to throw. And he's got his big wide receiver complete. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
When you decide to run a hitch route, it really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now, and it's Las Vegas with the football. They'll look to make it 3 for 3 on 3rd down conversions. They need a yard here. Now Geno. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
The kick by Carlson is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
Well, in a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that, but let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. And I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up a touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board. Either way you look at it, I think both sides gained something out of that drive.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Miami's offense set and ready to go.
That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
From the gun, they'll try to run it.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Dolphin first down. A perfect example right there, Charles, of why they love this rookie runner.
And think about how the NFL and the college games are meshing together more and more. You don't have to go to the NFL and learn a new set of skills. What you did in college often makes you ready for the NFL.
That one into the hands of Beckham downfield. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 23 yards on the play.
And, partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. He's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very different.
And now some disagreement down on that sideline. The red flag is out, and we're going to get a challenge. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Brown goes in motion left. On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. That really sets him back, a loss of 6.
On running plays, linemen, of course, have their assignments. That's expected. But it's not often you're expecting to see a cornerback blitzing in run support and tackling the runner for a loss.
Tough spot looking at 2nd and 16 here after the big loss. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Short throw to Smith. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that'll make it 3rd and 13.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. He'll look to throw. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So on 4th down, Dolphin kicker Jason Sanders comes on. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. And that is no good. Oh, he missed it just wide of the upright, and this will stay a 4-point game.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it, and this one winds up no good.
The Raiders offense ready to go. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. And that was a heck of a play there on the outside.
Partner, sometimes I think on a play like this as a corner, you've got to think to yourself, all I got to do is slow him down so others can come over and support. But in this case, he said, forget that. I've got this. Sorry you had to make the run for nothing, fellas.
And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well, incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Smith. Able to shake it, but now he's swallowed up and taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Like the footwork back there, and I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Tried to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss. Here's A.J. Cole now to punt this one away. Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt, and it'll be Dolphin football. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
And he's got his guys set up great now. First and goal, and the Pigskin at the 7-yard line. The pocket collapsed around him. I know we talk about it a lot, but a QB has to have that sixth sense, doesn't he?
He really does, and I know of one team at one point was training their quarterback with that time frame, and anytime he didn't get rid of the ball within the right amount of time, they would blow a horn or blow a whistle to show him this is what that time is, just what you're talking about, training him to understand this is the amount you have, make sure the ball's gone. Didn't happen in this case.
Here's Madison running on first down, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Alexander Madison taking it in from 7 yards away, and the Raiders have taken the lead.
Sometimes you get a first and goal and you're back near the 7, 8, 9-yard line, and you start thinking, maybe we'll run it here on first down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots at going for it from closer range. So this is a bonus right here. What a great run to work his way into the end zone.
Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson.
And he won't quite make it to the 25.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over.
Charles, you got to think the #1 goal here is ball security. Remember, last drive they coughed it up. Then they allowed the touchdown, and now they're trailing on the scoreboard.
Boy, the way you described it makes me think that one actually hurt them 3 times. The fumble cost them potential points. Then they watched their opponent get a touchdown off of the fumble. And third, they lost the lead as a result. Really tough sequence right there. I don't think coaches have to remind them to hold on to the football. They've just got to find a way to get it done.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. This is caught. It's Brown. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
And that play came together really well for them as he found open space, makes the catch, and gets down to the 1-yard line. You know he's kicking himself right now. He thought he had a chance to get a touchdown and put that in his ledger. Instead, his team gets a chance to cash in over these next few plays.
Hands it off out of the gun.
And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the first down carry.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Now a first carry for their fullback. 7 yards there and a first down.
Brandon, you know, we talk about having wrinkles in a game plan. That was a fold right there. How about that play? Being able to change things up. You think anyone else on the team's going to get the ball, and in that situation, they surprise everyone and give it to their big guy.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 46. Looking to throw. And this one complete to Smith. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. He'll drop to throw. Got him in. It's Brown. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 11 more on that one and another first down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good, and it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
And that is incomplete here.
So it looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now a handoff looking right. And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18.
Can we just take that run and turn it into a kind of a clip and save? Because that tells you everything you need to know about this drive. They've been moving the ball awfully well.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. On play action, they'll throw. That to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
Smart move to throw that one away. You're in field goal range, so you definitely don't want to be loose with the ball. And that's great work by this defense to force a 4th down.
Jason Sanders now for the Miami field goal. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. Sanders' kick is good, and that will knot us up at 10. So he gets a shot at atoning for the earlier miss here in the first half and able to knock it through.
And what a relief for him, don't you think? Because how many games have we done where kickers missed one early and never gotten a chance to atone for it the rest of the game? That's a lot to carry around.
All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. And now here come the Raiders. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Here now, 2nd and 4. Off of play action. Here's Smith. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
As he came to the line of scrimmage, he knew he didn't need much to reset the chain, so when he saw the space he needed, no hesitation. He went to the marker and got his guys a first down.
Now Smith. Short throw caught by Bowers. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give them 12 yards that time and a Las Vegas first.
Not too many teams will use a first-round pick on a tight end, so you know that when one does, he's got to be pretty darn special.
A small example of why they took him in the first round there. Nice little catch and run to get the good yardage. They'll go Madison up the middle. And he's going to have a first down on a gain of about 10, and that'll take us to the 2-minute warning. To throw is Smith. A short throw, and the ball is knocked out. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused because now, if you're an offensive player, You go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding ways to knock it out.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. And with a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
Now a 2nd and 10.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Short throw to Smith. And he'll get nothing out of that one. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10.
And that's why defensive coaches preach swarming to the football. It's usually going to take more than one guy to get that big man down.
And it did right there. Multiple broken tackles, but they eventually get him down.
Still needing 10 yards. Now it's 3rd down.
They'll set up to throw. Buying time to his left. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
And good yardage there on first down, because sometimes all you need to do on the screen is get one key block. That might set your man free, and that was pretty good pursuit to the football defensively, or it could have gone for more.
2nd down and a little more than a yard here.
Now back to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. In motion left comes Brown. Now a play fake here on first down. And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Back to throw again. And Brown's got it. Touchdown, Miami. A great play there as the first half is winding down.
And the Dolphins have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. Well, with this rookie QB, we talk a lot about his ball placement and how good he can be at laying it right in there. I think we just saw, Charles, though, the strength of that arm. That was an absolute rifle for the completed touchdown.
It absolutely was, and let's face it, you think he was really ready to get that first touchdown? Absolutely. He threw that pass with authority, just as you described. Big-time arm right there, and let's face it, a lot of quarterbacks used to be pitchers in baseball. The fastball was usually their best pitch, and we saw it there.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
One final go for this offense here in this first half.
And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6. Throwing is Smith. Pass complete right side to Bowers. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
And that will wind up just short. He had it on line. It ran out of gas at the end. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Raider offense ready to go here to start the third quarter. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air. They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. Whether it's the toss or the pitch, you get him the ball outside the tackles on the edge. He's a tough man to bring down.
He certainly is, and it makes people wonder on the other side of the ball. Do I really want to deal with him when he gets a full head of steam? At the same time, he's also congratulating his tackle, tight end, wide receiver on that side. They gave him access to the corner and allowed him to build up that head of steam.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though. Sometimes I get almost mesmerized watching these runners who have great vision. You know, those eyes that carry their feet to open spaces, make people miss. I just love watching those guys go to work.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's Smith. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Tucker. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be second down.
And I think he just wanted to give the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area. And after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
And they'll work from the 29 on 2nd and 6. Throwing now is Geno. Short throw, and that's hauled in by Mayer. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. Now a give to Madison. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a first down.
Here's Smith. That's into the hands of his tight end Bowers. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Well, that's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. 2nd and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through, and has a nice job to hold him just a couple and force a 3rd down.
On 3rd down, they run with Madison. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. This defense not budging. Back-to-back carries of just 2 yards. He can rack up those tackles in bunches in the run game from that middle linebacker spot.
And what he has to do is make sure he congratulates the guys in front and tells them thanks a lot, because as the guy in the middle, the Mike linebacker, you're counting on your front 3, your front 4, your front 5, whatever you've got in front of you to take up all the blocking, allow you to roam and hit, and that's what he did on that play.
So they were facing the deficit coming out of the locker room at intermission, and at least they're able to get the field goal to cut into that deficit.
Yeah, now your offense feels pretty good about itself, right? A little bit more up to speed coming out of the break. You turn to your defense now and say, hey, we got 3 there. We're chipping into the lead. Can you help us out? Hold them. Let's get the ball back for us.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Wide receiver A.J. Brown, you see he and the rest of his mates returning to the field here. Pretty good game for him so far. I guess he's still got time here to make this a great game, but so far he's been solid.
I like where you're going with that, because it has been pretty good, but there's always that hint that things can really escalate for him. And right now they feel like they're somewhat keeping him in check, but he has found the end zone once. But, boy, he can explode at any moment.
Yeah, and when you hit that end zone once, you want to find it again, don't you?
Yes, you do.
Makes you hungrier.
You get greedy in a good way. And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in a defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the first down.
To the sideline and incomplete.
And when you're in a one-score game in the second half, now's not the time to force the football in the places where you shouldn't. And that's a smart decision to just get that one out of there.
2nd and 10. They'll look to throw here. It's complete to Brown, right side. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. Again, he'll drop to throw. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Going to run with Madison again. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Play action. It's Smith. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
Nice call on defense, rolling out the nickel package for that big 3rd down play, and they did an excellent job locking down coverage and forcing him to try and run for it, and he doesn't get there, which brings up a big 4th down call.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Vegas. So a change of possession here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, 1st down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
That's out to Hill, right side complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
When the hitch route is run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space, all you want there, get that space, catch the football, and then make a move and pick up extra yardage. And that's exactly what he got done there.
2nd and 2. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Christian Wilkins gets him for a loss of 8. What great push up front.
And we all know how talented this guy is who's calling the signals for him. But even the best in the game, they can struggle against a good, cohesive zone coverage. Can't find a gap in the secondary quick enough, and he ends up taking a sack.
Third down and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Devon Achane, 50 yards, as his guys are able to extend their lead. Well, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but his top 2 options were not available on that throw, so he went the safe route, worked out pretty well.
It was like you were in the pocket. How about you going through the progressions like that? What a lot of offenses say, touchdown to check down. Look downfield first, bring it back to the line of scrimmage. Not easy for a rookie to do. Oftentimes they get one look, and they make their decision off of that. He went through 3. That was impressive.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that pushes the lead up to 11. A drive there of just 4 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Snap will come from the 31 on 2nd and 7. Geno now to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll even avoid the contact in the end as he will finally slide to a hole. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
The defense did its job of taking away a quick throw, but that's only half the battle because they've got to get to him before he can make a run for it. A little bit late containing him there, so he makes a nice gain out of a play that looked like it was in trouble.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. On the handoff, it's Madison. 67 yards rushing for him now to this point.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
2nd down and 4. They'll fake it. Now Smith. Caught by Mayer. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender, but the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back now here in London. It's Raider football here, but they're on the short side of the scoreboard right now as we begin the fourth. Now a play fake, and it's Smith. They'll get this underneath to Madison. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Here's Madison. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
Back to the ground on 1st down. Here's Madison. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11. And they'll come up 2nd and 7. Another carry now for Madison. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, As many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Madison trying to get to the goal line, but he's going to be stopped just short at the 1. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Good work there, holding them out on 1st down, and this is going to be a battle down here on the goal line. Can they hold their ground for 2, maybe even 3 more plays?
2nd and goal from the 1. Again, Madison. And this time he will get in. Touchdown, Raiders. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a 1-score game here in the 4th.
And that's what these guys have done all game long, because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now, we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense, because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
They'll run it with Madison, but he will not get in here. He's stopped up short of the goal line, and this will remain a 5-point game. Defensively, certainly not fooled there. Play started at the 2, and he was tackled at the 2.
That has to feel good for them. Not happy about having given up the touchdown, but stopping the 2-point conversion gives them a little bit of a lift as they head to the bench.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Dolphins offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And we'll take you through some of the highlights here. You'll notice he had a hand in a lot of them so far. He's got this offense rolling right now. First down, Miami, as they get set to start the drive.
So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
Got it here at the 29 on 2nd and 8. Brown goes in motion left. And they're going to give it to him on the jet sweep. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away.
A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
Well, as a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not,
well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss.
Throw caught by Achane. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
it's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
And the punter Bailey on now as he sends this one away.
51 yards on the punt there.
And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. The Raiders offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. And it's hard to believe you could run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, it's all been on display throughout.
Smith now to throw.
Open man right side, Myers.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
They'll run it with Madison. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there, second down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to the huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Smith. Tucker hauls it in over the middle. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Going on the ground with Madison. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Here's Madison getting it again on 2nd. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
The Raiders on 3rd down. Not quite 50%. 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 8. Off of play action. Here's Smith. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. The sack there by Bradley Chubb.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. So now out comes this offense led by their quarterback as they take over once more. And you get a look at the numbers, they don't even tell the whole story. This has been a tremendous performance to this point. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs, and the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
In motion, the tight end. 2nd and 14. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. Now, this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop them here. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground.
And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49.
Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down.
Now a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll instead run up the middle. And he is going to have a Miami first down, and the Dolphins are going to win the football game.
And they will take a knee here.
And here's a handoff out of the gun.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach, he's in big trouble.
So it's a win for the Dolphins here, and it was their quarterback who led the way, Charles. Pretty impressive play for a rookie.
Yeah, he did a little bit of everything, didn't he? He had 2 touchdown passes through the air, another one on the ground, and that defense, they really had no answer for many of their drives.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say cheerio from London.